to be at the camera, because it's over here, the thing's over there, so y'all just bear with me where I'm looking. I'm looking all over the flipping place. I'm looking at the CPU usage and all that. Anyway, back to the situation. Okay, the spiritual transfer comes and happens through grief, death, terminal illness, bonding, or soul ties, and they take advantage of that. That's why it says, know them that are among you and labor with you in the work and laboring of the Messiah. That's why it says, know them that are among, because that spiritual transfer can take place, you see. You understand? Soul ties. Let's talk about that for a minute. What about these soul ties? I'm telling you right now that when, say there's a friendship that occurs, okay, and you're living for the Creator, you're following the Messiah, and you're on a path of laborship or labor works and things of that, and all of a sudden somebody comes into your life and listen, without you even knowing it, because you're trying, take care of everything around you and serve the Creator in wholeness and in truth, and all of a sudden you don't realize, and this friend is absolutely little by little dragging you away from the focus that is your relationship with the Creator, that is your growth, that is necessary for you to make it all the way to the time of eternal life, and they just drag you and you don't even realize it. Every one of us, if you look at yourself in the mirror and be honest, including me, okay, how am I going to preach this unless I've been honest about it for the past, when it happened to me? They will drag you away, okay? In subtle things, they will drag you little by little, and pretty soon you're non-effective for the kingdom, and pretty soon, you know what? The covering, the blood covering that you had, the protection and the sealing is no longer there anymore, and bam! One day when you least expect it, there's a transfer of that friendship of the world to you. And you begin to act and begin to conduct yourself in a different manner. I'm telling you right now. Bonding with a person, listen to me, bonding with a friend that ain't saved, bonding with a friend that don't study to show themselves approved, bonding with a friend that believes that they're going to take all the world that they can reach out, and they're going to make it through the tribulation with the world in their own understanding, and not the understanding, not the guidance, not the direction of the Creator in the book, then they're in trouble. And if you find yourself on that path, when you first started out trusting in Him with all your heart, I'm talking about the Creator, and leaning not to your own understanding, then all of a sudden, because of patriot and liberty and all that, then you find out that, wait a minute, I'm doing this and I ain't getting the guidance and leadership of the Creator. You better get off that track in a hurry, because it can lead to demon possession. And they don't even have to possess you to influence you. Oh, they can come in a room and influence you without even getting in you. They may know that they can't get in you because you still are saved, but at the same, they can come harass and influence you to do things when you're walking in the flesh that you wouldn't normally do walking in the Spirit. You see, my face is getting red. I'm getting hot about this one. You see, but and think about this. What about a serious illness? See, people can have a serious illness. They can be serving the Creator, have a serious illness, wind up in the hospital, or wind up someplace, and then the people that come around them find them at their weakest points. And if their dependency is not totally upon the Creator, and they begin to depend upon the butchers in white coats, and they say that the butchers in white coats, they're God, is what they're saying. And then when that illness is there, then these so-called small g gods in the white coats, they're not trusting in the Creator with all their heart to do what they're supposed to do in surgery. And therefore, guess what? When that person goes under that anesthesia and he ain't prayed and sanctified and filled up real good and putting his trust in the Creator, said, direct the hands of this person, or hadn't prayed about it before it happens, transference of spirits take place at that point in time, ladies and gentlemen. And you'll notice that when that person comes out, of the surgery or whatever and recuperates and comes home, you'll see a total difference in them because of the demon activity. Okay? You understand? See? It can also come through grief. Demon activity can come through grief. You see, because when a lot of people can find themselves in a state of lowliness, in a state of sorrow, but even in our states of sorrow, in our states of lowliness, we had better realize and figure out that we better put our trust in Him and say, although I'm going through this, I'm coming out the other side with you because you're going through it with me. Amen? You see what I'm saying? Okay? So now, we have authority as believers in the name of Yeshua over all this power of the enemy and demons I'm talking to you about. See, we as believers are not under this curse of demon possession. It is the blood of the Messiah. It is that protection that he gave us when we accepted him, that no demons can enter us if we're walking according to his word. But if we're living a frivolous lifestyle of sin day in and day out, sun up to sundown, they have every opportunity, and they have spiritual authority to come in, you see. Now, I'm going to talk to you about this. Let's talk about an environment of transfer. Okay? An environment of transfer. What about it? An environment of transfer is an association with places like a prison, hospital, mental asylum, group meetings, anything like that, you see. Where suffering or pain or trauma or false doctrine or ways of the world versus the ways of the Creator, you see. Just being in that atmosphere that's charged up with all the demons and the evil spirit activity is a very invitation for them to hang around and attach themselves on you like a leech, you see. And unless they're exposed, rebuked, renounced in the name of Yeshua, otherwise they'll follow around like a little rabid dog. You see what I'm saying? Torment and harass people wherever there is an open door. For instance, think about this for a minute. Have you ever traveled and been in a certain area that you could sleep good at a certain place, but if you ever traveled extensively anywhere, you could travel in this one place. It's kind of like when we was in Kansas that one night. We was coming from where we used to live up here, and we got to Kansas and pulled off down there and went to the Fairfield Inn or something to stay. And I didn't sleep all night. I was harassed and aggravated, and it was literally spiritual warfare. I didn't sleep. I was fighting all night and rebuking the demons from messing and harassing with the kids and everything else, you see. Well, that stuff is real now. You gotta understand, the world will not think that it is real. You and I know that it is real based on the Word, the living Word that the Creator gave us as a roadmap, as a guide, as an instruction manual that we better follow. So this environment of amen? And it has to be renounced when you're in that environment, or else it will attach itself to you, come back to your house with you, ride in the car with you, and harass you until it is dealt with. Amen? Now, what about this? What about this? And I know ain't none of the world going to want to hear this one, but here it goes. Then we got the sexual transfer. Person-to-person contact, spiritual union between each other, okay? You know what I mean? Sexual partners in contact. That's why I keep telling folks, it's got to be the husband and the wife. That's the only way it works. That's the way the Creator created it. Anything else is spiritual transfer, you see. What about all these lustful spirits that get transferred when they hook up, when they have the fornicating orgies and everything else? And then they go out and they cheat on their husband, they cheat on their wife, and then they come back home. They do it, under the cover of darkness. They come back home, all of a sudden the kids are started acting crazy. The kids are doing things they wouldn't do. These lustful spirits hang around, then they attach themselves to children. And then from one thing after another, after another, after another. Even though that child done nothing wrong, the parent goes out and straps a mattress on their back, becomes a whore or a John or whatever you want to call them, brings it back home, then the little child's harassed when it ain't done nothing wrong, and demons attack them further and further and further, and if it ain't dealt with, and the people can't understand it and have the power of Yeshua to deal with it and cast it out, then the whole house is in shambles. See? Even though that child did nothing wrong, that child's going to have to suffer. Because that child ain't to the age of accountability, or when it gets to the age of accountability, obviously the parents ain't teaching the children about the Word because they out screwing around. See, and then you have, look here, then you have the situation of demon possession with a person that molests children, i.e. Catholic priests, i.e. TSA agents. Think about that. Think about that. Then you got somebody walking through an airport, and you got a TSA agent that's a child molester, and then you got a child, or you got a mama, or you got a daddy, and they ain't covered in the blood of Yeshua. Then you got these molesting spirits that jump off and transfer themselves on them, go home with them, then another action takes place, and then that demon not only is transferred on their back, then it comes in them, then they become child molesters. This is how the game works. Then you have rape. I'm talking about demon spirits with names here. Yeah, the demon of rape, the demon of molestation, the demon of fornication, and it never ends. The demon of sodomy, the demon of masturbations, of lesbianism, pornography, fantasy, lust. It goes on and on and on. It don't never end. But all these people think they can be around it, and not. They think. Listen to it. They think that they can live their own life the way they want to, not live the life for Christ or Yeshua. And they can do anything, and none of this stuff will bother them, harass them, or get upon them and in them. Well, look at this. It's everywhere. It's rampant. It's rampant. It's rampant. You see? You hear me? See, people, listen to this. I'm going to make a statement that needs to be understood. People have responsibility for their actions. It causes generation upon generation upon generation to be affected. Innocent children, grandchildren have psychological problems and generational curses, and the list never ends, and only the blood of the Messiah can reverse it, cast it out, and make you clean and set you free. For instance, I got a question for you. Let's stop for a minute. And let's talk about, everybody loves to talk about the New World Order, Illuminati, Club of Rome, all that good stuff, okay? And I say that sarcastically because none of it's good. Okay? Drink of water, please. I'm going to keep going. Okay. Take the Illuminati, for instance, or take let's say it this way. Take the powers that be that are in control. And then you got your government and things like that under it. Wall Street and all that are under. They're under the auspices of the control of the Illuminati. Pre-adventure. Now, within that, after the government, you got your local law enforcement. You got all these things that are under the auspices of the leadership of the head of the Illuminati. Then the government, and then you got your provinces and everything else. Okay. Now, a person has to ask themselves a question. Is the Illuminati or the elite evil or righteous? I'm going to answer it. I'm going to answer it. They are evil, okay? Now, the fact of the business is they are influenced and possessed by evil spirits and demons. There is no other way around it if you are an understander of the word. And you don't have to be a rocket scientist. You see? Then after that, the transference, listen to me, the transference from principalities and powers goes into the individuals that work for the government. Then you go down to the local level, and then you have the evil spirits and demons that seduce, harass, and come into to live into the people under the auspices of Satan. This is how it's worked, and this is how it continues to work. Now the question I have for us as people that follow him is, you better understand that the only satisfaction that they, meaning the demon-possessed people, and the demons that dwell in them, and Satan that rules them, can get is to kill, to steal, and to destroy from the people that do love the Creator. You see? Now, maybe I hope and pray that you got a little better understanding of how these demons operate, and how, see, they are armed with knowledge. Oh, don't you ever think they don't know? They don't know about this family and that family, that they can continue to operate, okay, without any opposition, i.e. the Rothschilds. i.e. many other families, i.e. local families around where I live, i.e. local families around where you live. They've been doing